The heroes of Gotham City were enjoying a rare moment of peace after defeating Penguin and his army of henchmen. Batman was relaxing at Wayne Manor with Barbara Gordon, who was recovering from her injuries sustained in the fight. Bruce Wayne was reading a book when suddenly his communicator started beeping. He excused himself and went to the study to answer the call. It was Commissioner James Gordon. "I need your help, Bruce," Gordon said urgently. "We have another situation on our hands." Before Bruce could respond, the line went dead. Confused, Bruce quickly changed into his Batman costume and headed out into the night. As he swung through the dark streets of Gotham, he tried to figure out what had happened. Suddenly, he heard a police scanner crackle to life. He listened in and heard the officers talking about a bank robbery in progress. Batman changed course and headed straight for the nearest rooftop, where he could get a better view of the situation. As he got closer, he saw 3 men dressed in black suits robbing the bank. One of them was tall and thin, while the other 2 were shorter and stockier. The thin man was holding a gun and barking orders at the terrified customers and tellers. The 2 shorter men were stuffing bags with money and jewelry. Batman knew he had to act fast before anyone got hurt. He took off his cape and threw it over the nearby transformer, plunging the street into darkness. The robbers didn't notice him at first, but when the taller one looked up, he saw the dark figure standing on the rooftop across the street. "What the hell?" he shouted. Before any of them could react, Batman was on top of them, sending them sprawling to the ground with powerful blows. The man with the gun tried to fire, but Batman was too quick for him. He disarmed the man and smashed the gun into pieces. The other 2 thugs tried to make a run for it, but Batman was faster. He grabbed the collars of their jackets and yanked them back, then punched them square in the jaw. They all crumpled to the floor, groaning in pain. Batman turned his attention to the man with the gun. "Where did you guys come from?" he demanded. "Who sent you?" The man spat blood onto the ground. "You'll never guess," he said with a sneer. "Deadshot." Batman's eyes narrowed. Deadshot was one of the most feared assassins in the world. What was he doing in Gotham? And why did he send these clowns to do his dirty work? Before the man could say another word, Batman cuffed him and called for backup. As the police arrived to take the men away, Commissioner Gordon hurried over to Batman. "Thanks for helping us out, Bruce," he said, shaking Batman's hand. "But what are we going to do about this guy? He's just sitting there smiling like a maniac." Batman looked down at the man and saw that he was right. The man was grinning from ear to ear, seemingly pleased with himself. This only made Batman more suspicious. What was Deadshot playing at? Why had he sent these men to rob a bank? It didn't make sense. Suddenly, the man spoke up. "You want to know why we did it, Batman? Because it's fun. Nothing makes me happier than seeing people scream and run for their lives. It's so much fun, Batman. Why don't you try it sometime?" The man's words hit Batman like a punch to the gut. He felt a surge of anger, and he wanted nothing more than to smash this man's face in. But he knew that wouldn't accomplish anything. So instead, he just cuffed the man more tightly and turned to leave. "Wait," the man shouted. "You want to know who I am? I'm Harley Quinn, Harleen Quinzel, Joker's girlfriend. And if you want me to stop laughing, maybe you should go pay a visit to my old friend, the Joker." With that, Harley Quinn went limp in Batman's arms. Batman was furious. He knew that Harley Quinn was trouble, but he had no idea she was working with the Joker. He needed to get back to the manor and warn Alfred and Barbara. He took off into the night, leaving the stunned police officers behind. At Wayne Manor, Alfred was tending to Barbara's wounds when Bruce burst through the door. "Alfred, Barbara," he said urgently, "we have a problem. Harley Quinn is back, and she's working with the Joker." Barbara sat up in bed, wincing as she moved. "What? How? How bad is it?" Bruce shook his head. "I don't know. That's why I came to get you. We need to go to the GCPD and see if they know anything about the Joker's whereabouts. Barbara nodded, knowing that there was no time to waste. Together, Batman and Batgirl headed out into the night once again. They arrived at the GCPD just as the sun was rising. Commissioner Gordon was waiting for them at the front desk. "I'm sorry it took so long, Batman," he said, "but we're still trying to piece together what happened last night. All we know is that Harley Quinn was involved somehow." Batman nodded, thanking the commissioner for his help. He and Batgirl headed down into the evidence locker, where they hoped to find something, anything that would lead them to the Joker. As they searched, Bruce couldn't help but worry about Barbara. She was still recovering from her injuries, and he wasn't sure if she was ready to face the Joker. But she was a tough cookie, and he knew she wouldn't let him down. Suddenly, Batgirl's eyes lit up. "What's that?" she asked, pointing to a small object in a box. Batman leaned in and saw that it was a playing card, the Joker's calling card. On the back was a message written in the Joker's signature purple ink. It read, "Meet me at the amusement park if you want to save the girl." Batman and Batgirl exchanged glances. They knew what they had to do. The amusement park was a huge complex with dozens of rides and attractions. Batman knew that the Joker could be anywhere, so he decided to split up and cover more ground. "Be careful, Bruce," Batgirl said, hugging him tightly. "I know," he whispered back, kissing her forehead. "I'll be fine. Just stay close to me." They both knew it was a risky plan, but it was their best chance of finding the Joker and rescuing whoever he had taken. As Batman flew through the air, he kept an eye out for anything suspicious. He spotted a group of thugs gathered around a hot dog stand and decided to investigate. As he got closer, he heard them talking. "He said if we don't bring him the girl, he'll throw us in Arkham," one of them said nervously. "Well, that's not going to happen," Batman said, stepping out of the shadows. The thugs jumped and drew weapons, but Batman was too quick for them. He knocked their weapons away and sent them sprawling to the ground. "Where is he?" Batman demanded. "Who's got her?" The thugs refused to talk, so Batman left them and continued his search. He flew past roller coasters and Ferris wheels, searching every nook and cranny. Just when he was about to give up hope, he heard a familiar laugh. The Joker. He followed the sound and found the Joker standing on a platform with Batgirl tied up beside him. "I told you to meet me here, Batsy," the Joker said, turning around. "Why didn't you listen?" Batman landed on the platform and glared at the Joker. "Let her go, Joker," he growled. "You know I won't hesitate to hurt you." The Joker threw his head back and laughed. "Oh, Batsy, you're so predictable. You always say the same things." He turned back to Batgirl. "So sad, so sad, so sad," he said, pulling out a knife. "It's time for you to join the circus, sweetheart." Batman lunged at the Joker, knocking the knife out of his hand. The two of them grappled, Batman trying to beat the Joker into submission, and the Joker dodging and weaving, laughing all the while. But Batman was too strong. He finally managed to pin the Joker down. "It's over, Joker," he said, his voice dripping with venom. The Joker looked up at Batman, his eyes filled with hatred. "You may have won this round, Batman," he said, "but this isn't over."